Some people must live in great spaces, where the sky goes on forever, where everyone must bend to the land, where to hunt, to fish, to sleep under that big sky aren't activities, but a way of life.
It was between here and those mountains that Cheyenne and Crow battle took place. But I like it. It's very peaceful, huh?
What was it like 100 years ago, 200 years ago?
Oh, not much different. This was never forested. This is the dry side of the river because the primary winds come from the west. Rain tends to blow over here. That brings the snow to the mountains.
Legendary writer and poet Jim Harrison is one of those people. And this is his home.
I took a walk through this beautiful world. Felt the cool rain on my shoulder. Found something good in this beautiful world. I felt the rain getting colder. Sha la 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 la, sha la 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 la, sha la 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 la, sha la 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 la.
Am I as old as I am? Maybe not. Time is a mystery that could tip us upside down. Yesterday I was 7 in the woods. A bandage covered my blind eye. 68 years later, I could still inhabit that boy's body without thinking of the time in between. It is the burden of life to be many ages without seeing the end of time.
Next time you turn off a news cycle filled with shouting bobbleheads, convinced that America is devolving into a moronic inferno, questioning the greatness of your nation, maybe you should come here. Here are your Purple Mountains' majesty. This is the landscape that generations of dreamers, despots, adventurers, explorers, crackpots, and heroes fought and died for. It's one of the most beautiful places on Earth. There is no place like it. Montana. Many have come to claim their peace over the years, but before the prospectors and explorers, there were the Plains Indians. The Absaraka have been master horsemen since they adopted Spanish-introduced Mustangs in the 18th century.
General Blackjack Pershing, he called the Native Americans the centaurs of the plains.
Better known as the Crow, they were once part of the larger Hidatsa tribe. Centuries ago, they split off on their own and wandered or were pushed by conflict with the Blackfeet, Cheyenne, and Dakota until settling here in the Yellowstone River Valley.
That horse became everything to our people.
Kennard Reelbird grew up ranching and raising horses here at Medicine Tail Coulee, which happens to be the exact spot where General George Custer had the worst day of his life. Kennard raises horses for rodeo, for riding, and for this, Indian relay racing.
The athletic ability on them kids are just amazing. The competition is intense.
They travel all over to compete at this collarbone-smashing, skull-cracking, bone-snappingly dangerous sport. Former allies and former blood enemies alike.
It requires a lot of courage.
I'll bet.
And a high threshold for pain. It's representative of warrior mentality.
One rider, 3 horses.
When they're lined up, gun goes off. It's like a spontaneous combustion.
Top speed is around 40 miles an hour. And after each lap, the rider dismounts at full freaking gallop and leaps, hopefully, onto the next horse. Yes, it's as dangerous and difficult as it looks. The prizes at big events run into the thousands of dollars, but really, it's about bragging rights and pride.
Being in motion, in rhythm, in time, and in one with that horse, you develop strength of character. And once they conquer that fear, that feeling of accomplishment is so great. When they walk back from that race, they have this sense of pride and self-worth is sky high. Now they've identified with their ancestors.
Ken's wife, Diane, has prepared a lunch of buffalo steaks, potato salad, fry bread, and Indian pudding made of Juneberry stewed with flour and sugar.
When I looked at my ancestors, they didn't have diabetes, they didn't have much cancer. They were very strong, durable people. And I said, well, I'm going to start eating nothing but buffalo.
Over the course of your life, how much has this area changed?
Quite a bit. We went and picked up a four-wheeler last Sunday, be the first four-wheeler on the place.
Given those changes, what are the Crow people going to be doing in 20 years, 30 years? The horse going to play an important part in the culture still?
I think so, yeah, because what's a place going to be like without horses? I wouldn't want to be there.
Who owns this land? Can anyone really own it? Who gets to use it? These are big questions that cut across traditional ideological lines out here, where they have real meaning, not theoretical meaning. All this belongs to one man, this guy, Bill Galt.
Okay, we're about a half mile from the confluence of Rock Creek and the Smith River.
Galt Ranch is 100,000 acres of grazing land, mountains, cliffs, and valleys. There's also some of the best trout fishing on the planet.
Bill, the water level on the creek looks good.
This is Bill's friend, the author and journalist David McCumber. They disagree on land use, a major issue. Remember when you could do that and still be friends? Lee Kinsey is a professional outfitter who Bill leases some areas of his property to for fishing.
All this to outwit a fish.
I know.
It's amazing.
All right, go ahead. Stop that tip high. Put that thing straight up in the air. Good, perfect.
Bill's a fifth-generation Montanan whose principal business is raising cattle. He's no weekend cowboy. This is work, and he pays a lot of attention to his land. And a big issue for him, for just about everybody around here, is the 1985 Stream Access Law.
Anybody that could access a stream via a public means could in fact use the stream, even if it was on private ground, as long as they stayed within the ordinary high water mark of the stream.
Widely heralded by sportsmen and outdoor enthusiasts, the law did not go down well with landowners like Bill.
Oh, got him. Something took a bite.
Yep. He's still got a fish right in there, too.
Oh, I see him.
Perfect. Hoop set. Whoa! The fish of the day. Nice brownie.
All right.
Woo!
Beautiful thing. That's pretty.
But I will not eat you today, my friend. Not today.
For lunch, a modest, protein-centric repast of steak, a Wagyu Angus hybrid bred and raised right here on Bill's ranch.
There's the marbling and a Wagyu steak. That's what makes them good.
Oh, that's nice.
And it's pretty damn tasty, I can tell you.
So you hold an opposing view, is that correct, on access?
The idea behind the stream access law, that if you stay in the water, it's public. I agree with that concept.
But where do you draw the line for private property rights? State were to pass a law that your restroom was public because the public needed it in your house.
Right.
But just because this isn't my backyard doesn't mean it's any less mine than your toilet is yours. We still pay taxes on every foot of it.
I'm an old school lefty, but I gotta say, I kind of completely understand the property owner's point of view here. There'd be no ambiguity in my feeling if I'd inherited this land, it had been in my family for generations, and I looked around at it and wanted to keep it like it is. If I were to go to a bar in town, and I would ask, how do you feel about this issue? Where would it break What would
Depends on
most
if you're
people
a
say?
fisherman or a landowner.
Clearly divided right down the middle.
But, a lot of people are going to say, when I was a kid, I used to be able to go hunt and fish, and I can't now. Stuff's getting closed off. I have some sympathy for that.
Anybody that's not complying with stream access merely has to step into the stream when he hears you coming.
Right.
The spirit of it makes sense.
The spirit of it's thievery.
Yeah,
We own it and they took it, and that's not stealing it without compensation.
I think it's still here.
This is about being a good neighbor, right?
Yeah.
I mean, so if people ask nicely more often than not, you're going to say yes?
We do. Used to be, before stream access, we seldom required somebody to have permission if they just behaved
Right.
themselves. After stream access is when the outfitters came into the world. Not because we wanted to make money, but we wanted somebody there patrolling and policing it. The outfitters take care of it.
A small stream like this can only take so much pressure.
It really can.
And so we try to manage it, fish it responsibly. And if somebody wants to walk all the way from the Smith 5 miles up to here and do it legally, I say all the more power to them.
That's what I'm saying.
At first look, you'd think this is the worst place on Earth. A ravaged, toxic, God-forsaken hill, threatened from above, riddled with darkness below. But you'd be wrong. Butte, Montana. It is in fact heartbreakingly, poignantly beautiful. The Gallus frames seem eyesores for only a second before it becomes clear why they're points of fierce pride for locals, for whom they signify and commemorate everything.
For Montanans, many people consider it sort of a black eye. I happen to think it's sort of the essence of Montana.
Aaron Perrette was born in Butte. He's a professor of literature and a chronicler of the city's colorful literary history.
There is something beautiful about this city, right?
Yeah, the enduring decay.
Like in Detroit or a Buffalo or Cleveland, you can see the aspirations of the builders or the people who they were building for.
As I've gotten older, I kind of think about it the way Europeans romanticize those ruins in Greece and Rome. Butte is America's Acropolis.
In its heyday, Butte produced tens of billions of dollars worth of copper that built, well, America, that helped power the country, defend it against Germany and Japan. Without this hill, no copper wire, no electricity. At the turn of the century, Marcus Daly's Amalgamated Company consumed its competitors and became Anaconda Copper. By the 20s, the company, as it was referred to, was one of the largest corporations in America, generating staggering wealth by today's or any day's standards. People came from all over the world to make their fortunes here or simply for steady work, a better life.
Cornish, Welsh, a lot of Eastern Europeans.
Croatians, Serbs, very ethnically diverse.
By Montana standards or by any standard?
I would say by any standards, that's kind of a micro version of New York City.
Meaderville was an Italian neighborhood and developed a tradition of supper clubs. Lydia's was opened in 1946 by Lydia Micheletti in the 4 Mile, the valley below Butte.
So what is a supper club? I've heard about this tradition, but I don't really understand what distinguishes a supper club from a restaurant.
At least in Montana, the supper clubs are a variation on Meaderville style. Involves this antipasto beginning.
Sliced meats, sweet potato salad, salami and cheese, side salad, pickled peppers, and breadsticks.
Then when you actually get your entree, you get, oddly enough, ravioli or spaghetti, or here, both, but also French fries.
Odd.
That may be unique to Montana.
For entrees, seared scallops and white wine sauce for Aaron. Me, noticing we're pretty much landlocked around here, I go for the extra thick tenderloin of beef, thank you very much.
This is wacky. It makes no sense.
It is somewhat bizarre to have scallops and French fries.
Yeah. Meaderville no longer around.
No, it's not. It was swallowed up by the pit in the early 60s.
For the first 70 years, it was hard rock mining, blasting and digging tunnels deep into the ground. By the 1950s, mining was moving increasingly to above ground, open pit, which meant fewer jobs and a bigger, more visible footprint. By 1955, the Berkeley pit had become the largest open pit copper mine in the world. As it expanded, it devoured Meaderville and surrounding neighborhoods. There was money down there to be dug out of the ground, and that's what Butte had always been about from the beginning. In 1983, the pumps that held back the groundwater from thousands of miles of tunnels beneath the city were turned off. The pit filled with 30 billion gallons of water. And as mine tailings and mineral refuse contaminated the water, it became a giant, insanely toxic lake of sulfuric acid. A monument to greed and heedless exploitation of the earth, and something eerily, if tragically beautiful.
If you're still living here, you've got to have some kind of weird, perverse pride in the pit.
Absolutely.
I mean, correct me if I'm wrong.
No, you nailed it. Obviously, the pit is an enduring emblem of that rapacious capitalist greed, but you also have people here who are proud of where they live. And the history of Butte, in many ways, is, this town that should have died, but never did. Part of that is luck, geographically, but also the character of the people here. They endured.
As you might have gathered by now, this is a working-class town, and unusual in that it's a union town, a proudly union town in an otherwise very red state.
Butte is the most interesting, important town in America that nobody knows about.
Bryant McGregor is the owner of the Silver Dollar Saloon in what was once Butte's Chinatown.
So we call ourselves Butte America.
Amanda Curtis, a former state congresswoman, was born of the labor movement. She's a unionist, an advocate for workers, and this solidly union city she calls home.
When you got off the boat in Ellis Island, it said Butte pinned to your shirt. And it wasn't Butte, Montana, right? It was Butte America. We were founded by European immigrants who came from socialist countries with all of these crazy socialist ideas.
Would you say Montana, in a stereotypical way, is relatively socially conservative?
Oh, absolutely. But Butte is a labor town.
Nobody knows anything about union history. They don't teach it. When the country was at its peak, unions were at their peak. When wages were at their peak, unions were at their peak.
That was then. This is now. This is the era of I got mine, Jack.
That's what makes Butte different. It's not a I've got mine.
It isn't.
It's
Why?
Truly not. Union is together. We've grown this community out of taking care of each other.
You have to remember what it was like here for workers before unions, if you can imagine. Men worked underground for as little as $3 a day. 10 to 12-hour shifts, 6 days a week. Thousands died over the years in industrial accidents or from silicosis, lungs ravaged by the airborne silica dust.
You don't have any rights in your workplace unless you bond together and have a collective voice.
In a one-company town, despite hiring assassins and strikebreakers, Butte's thousands of workers successfully managed to unionize. Labor costs increased while copper prices slumped. Anaconda responded by moving their production increasingly south, way south, to Chile, where such impediments as labor laws and fair wages were more malleable.
We serve as the example about what happens if you allow unfettered capitalism.
But isn't there something beautiful about unfettered capitalism? though? Because look, this structure here.
We powered the entire world.
As long as they're making that money in the goddamn United States of America first.
Right.
I feel I'm a patriot. And if you're taking jobs away from America to export them overseas,
You're not.
you're not.
And we've been talking about this for decades in this country, right? Or keep our jobs here.
Yeah.
Time sinks slowly to the deepest part of the ocean, the Mariana Trench. She's tired of light, and there it's pure black.
They say that Butte is a mile high and a mile deep, and to get an idea of what they mean, you've got to go down deep into the hill. An intricate warren of tunnels riddled through the rock and soil that lay beneath the city was flooded forever by water and darkness. The Orphan Boy Mine is one of the few remaining hard rock mines in the city. Today, it serves as a training facility for the Montana Tech School of Mines and Engineering.
There's 5 generations of mining here. In order to survive and provide the resources for America, these people were super skillful.
Jim Keene is a state senator and labor advocate who grew up working the mines of Butte.
How many miles of tunnel under Butte total?
10,000 miles of tunnels.
10,000 miles.
And I
Like
figured,
this.
Like this. Only smaller, usually.
Larry Hoffman is a longtime mining engineer and instructor. Matt Krattinger is the new guy. A hard rock miner by day, he likes to relax by spending his free time down here, playing.
I come mining for fun on my days off.
Okay.
It's one of those things that just gets in your blood. You got a lot of pride in it.
These guys like it underground. And even more, they seem to like drilling holes deep into the rock face.
You want to drill?
Sure.
Pull that out. Now you get to feel where the weight's at on it.
Oh, yeah. Cool.
You do that several hundred times a day. No. It gets good.
Sweet.
The community recognized the miner was at the top of the food chain. When I grew up, he was considered just like a doctor or a lawyer because everybody knew he was the one making everything work. The other thing about mining is it's so intensive. I mean, you need engineers, you need guys running ventilation, mechanic or a carpenter or a pipe fitter. It's just such a diverse asset to have all these different types of people. That's what was so good about it.
Mining was always dangerous, but these men are proud of what they do and of the generations who came before them, who built neighborhoods and schools and helped power the nation.
They loved their work. They raised their families. They worked all the time.
It was a destination with hopes and dreams of hard work leading to a better life.
You know, the company's a son of a bitch, let's face it, but they were our son of a bitch. So you know, that's just the way it was. The community worked to support the people. Here's the fun part.
Cool.
Well, how many holes do you usually drill to make a round?
Between 20 and 30.
What is a round?
This pattern has to be drilled out. And every time you advance the face, that is a round. You drill it, you load it, you blast it, you muck it, you bolt it, you drill it again. And that's a cycle. We're in the loading process right here. They call collar priming or top priming this hole. Split, still away.
Back in the day, it was dynamite. But in the 60s, they started switching over to this stuff, ANFO, ammonium nitrate, and fuel oil.
Okay, so got everything charged up, loaded. Now we get to time it. This is kind of where I got hooked on mining. As soon as I set that first round off, it was, how do we do another one?
Dude, fascinating.
This is where it all starts.
All right.
Right here.
Everybody got everything out?
Four seconds of silence.
All right, everybody's good? Everybody's ready?
Yep.
All right. Fire in the hole!
One,
two, three.
That's deep.
Welcome to mining.
That's deeply satisfying. Oh, yeah. Very cool.
Can we see the smoke?
What is that, vented out?
Yeah, the smoke will start moving towards us. You gotta get in the smoke.
Oh, yeah. Smells like victory.
this is the smell of mining.
We'll see if it all works as planned.
That shockwave is awesome.
Isn't it?
Yeah.
This is like being an astronaut right now. You're gonna go in there and you're gonna be the first person in the world to see what you see. Right.
Did you break it?
Yeah.
Nice, huh? Happy with your work?
I'm very happy with it. Everything came out just the way it should.
Well, that's another 6-foot advance.
And that is a round.
Beautiful thing.
Yes, it is.
I fell in love with the dark and the blowing things up and the people.
The people's a big thing. You meet some of the most interesting people.
About 1/3 of Montana is public land. It was set aside for the people of the United States of America. Generally speaking, it is intended for multi-purpose use: timber harvest, grazing land, hiking, fishing, hunting, and mining. These open lands are important to hunters and anglers like Dan Bailey. He's the Montana representative for Pheasants Forever, an organization working to conserve pheasants and other wildlife through careful management.
So this is a piece of property that's owned by Pheasants Forever. It's open to public access. This is through Montana's block management system. We sign in, they collect all the tags, they know who's on the property.
Today, me and my friend Joe Rogan are going after some delicious pheasant for dinner.
Yeehaw, ladies and gentlemen.
Joe is, of course, the voice of the UFC and the host of the wildly popular podcast, The Joe Rogan Experience. In recent years, Joe has become an advocate for the notion that you should, whenever possible, know where your food comes from.
The connection that you have with your food when you kill it yourself, it's a totally different experience.
I believe that if you choose to eat meat, that there should be a little bit of guilt and shame involved. Something did die. So there should be a sense of loss and an understanding.
Right here, this is it. I mean, you know where your food comes from. That's the smallest circles you can get. Hey, Tony, the 3 things we can hunt here are Hungarian partridge, which is a small bird in the big covey, sharp-tailed grouse, and then rooster pheasants. So no hen pheasants. I'll call out what it is.
Yeah, I'm gonna wait for you, because I sure as hell wouldn't be able to identify them.
So we'll get one person on one side of the jaw, one person on the other, and I'll run the dogs through the middle.
Which way they're gonna break, do you think? Anyway, could be any.
Any which way. We're hoping over us. Hen, 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 hen.
What happens if you accidentally shoot a hen? You get in trouble?
For yourself.
You've heard about the walk of shame? So really, you have a split second to determine whether it's a shootable
bird
thing. Okay, well, we're counting on you.
That's a rooster.
I got a shot at that, too. That was an easy shot. Shit.
Some days.
Yeah, one of those days, huh?
Public lands in Montana, we're fortunate we have a lot of them, but, they get a lot of pressure, and so when you get one of these birds, it's pretty special.
Public land hunting is always a lot of work.
In general, anybody and everybody can come out here and chase your birds, so. There's a bunch of birds right there.
Yeah.
See them going through the trees there?
I saw.
A bunch of pheasants just got up. Let's get serious about this.
All right.
We'll take these dogs to the river. Rooster! Oh, nice shot. Deborah! Gotta get up on that bank.
Who got it?
Anthony got it.
Nice. I missed that one over here.
Good boy. Come, bring it here. Come on. Good boy. Come on, Junker. Nice shot.
Thank you.
Bring it here. Come on. Nice drop. There you go. Montana rooster.
It's good eating.
Bird.
All right, man. Start plucking.
With one in the bag, we meet up with the rest of our party to cook and drink and eat. Lan Tawney is a 5th-generation Montanan and an active conservationist. Hal Herring is a journalist for Field and Stream. The pheasant is cooked 2 ways: marinated in soy and fish sauce, sriracha and lime, browned in butter, and buffaloed like chicken wings, or dredged in flour and Cajun spice, sautéed with garlic and brandy, then braised a bit with stock and wild mushrooms. Collard greens and bacon as a side serve as a nice cleanse.
Man, these greens are good. And the bird's delicious. Oh, yeah. Man, amazing day.
Eating it today.
It was beautiful today.
Why should people in New York or San Francisco who've never hunted, in what way does your access to hunting ground impact on this nation in a positive way? Why should they care?
Well, it's not hunting ground. It's public ground. It's owned by the people of the United States of America.
And I just see our country, it's very nuanced. And private property is bedrock. But public lands have worked.
But you're talking big government stepping in and saying, we're taking all this land and we're going to protect it from exploitation by capitalists.
Public land management is not perfect for anybody, but it's a path forward. It's not happening anywhere else in the world. And the reason that it came here is because we are such a great country. But as we move into the future, it's going to take everybody understanding how unique it is to America.
To say that hunting and conservation are intertwined
is an absolute fact.
It is an absolute fact, but it is a really painful admission that we are the masters of this environment, whether we like it or not.
As thinking beings, we're the only ones in the food chain that understand the consequences of the imbalance. And therefore, we do have a right to take care of this thing and manage it. When it comes to animals that can alter their environment, we're unique.
You know, I'm not a hunter, obviously.
We hunted all day today. If you take a shit, you're a shitter.
I don't... My daddy didn't take me for the long one.
That's what it is.
You shot that pheasant, we're eating that pheasant. There's no closer connection to food almost than that.
I think there's a fundamental misunderstanding by people that don't hunt or people that call themselves animal activists that we don't love the animals as much as they do. And that's just not true.
We do what we do because we love Mother Nature, we love wildlife, we want people to enjoy it. You know, three of us, we have decided to spend what we do for a living to protect wildlife and to protect access and to protect hunting heritage.
They're fellow living beings that live in a very hard scrabble life. They're howling right now because they killed something, whatever it is. They're letting all the other coyotes know, and they're gonna eat it right now, and that is what they do.
You know, have you ever been out on an open body of water where you're just surrounded by the ocean or the desert? Or here, actually, for that matter.
Right.
You do begin to understand your place in the universe, meaning at the end of the day, I'm not that different from that pheasant I shot today.
We're all in it together. The elk and me and the wolves, what we do to the world, we do to ourselves. We're all in it together.
As the evening progresses, the bourbon flows and the fire burns down to coals. A late-night vape with Joe, and the earth seems to shift on its axis. Later, stumbling out of my tent, I find myself somehow no longer vertical, looking up at a magnificent bewilderment of stars. Livingston, Montana may be one of the prettiest and oddest towns in America. It's also one of my favorites. Originally a railroad town, a place where cattlemen could drink and philander. Then later, a gateway to Yellowstone National Park. In the 1960s, the surrounding Paradise Valley was a popular setting for Hollywood films, and local ranchers began to see a strange mix of creative types showing up. First to work on films, but later to stay and play cowboy for real. Writers like Richard Brautigan, Tom McGuane, and Jim Harrison. Actors like Peter Fonda, Warren Oates, the notorious director Sam Peckinpah made Livingston their home. The Mint Bar opened in the 1920s and holds the oldest liquor license in Montana. Railroad workers used to drink here. Everybody drank here.
Look at that picture of the bar right there.
Yeah, that picture is this building during Prohibition. It was a grocery store.
My friend Dan Laron is a jack-of-all-trades native son, a hunter, fisherman, and a key figure in the life of the town.
I mean, this is a rough and tumble railroad cattleman town, right?
Yeah.
Why did they put a railroad stop here?
It was X far from Minneapolis and X far to Seattle. It was kind of middle ground, 700 miles that way, 700 miles that way.
Right. who would exemplify the qualities that a preponderance of Montanans would aspire to?
The American Indian, the Plains Indian that lived here before white man, because it was a tough place to live. You know?
When was the last time you walked outside and you looked at those mountains and you said, I possibly live in the most awesome place on earth? When was the last time that happened?
I do. I never take this place for granted. Okay, it's one of the most beautiful places that I've been, and I like to enjoy the outdoors. Take my son hunting.
Right.
You know.
You know that moment when an animal dies and they look at you and there's a look in their face, I always interpret it as, I'm very disappointed in you.
Yeah, well, as an older hunter, I'm feeling more and more remorse for the animals that I kill. And that's why I use every part of the animal that I can. I have respect for that creature.
I always felt like, look, whatever this thing I shot, I will treat it the way I would like to be treated. I mean, you're gonna shoot me. Please, don't just leave me there.
Yeah, don't just rip my breasts out and throw my ass away.
Yeah, that's a country music song right there. Don't rip my breasts out.
Time. She prepared us drifting through our lives like clouds, riding her like the gentlest of horses. You know, if you're seeing northern lights and a thunderstorm in the east and wolves howling all at once, it's sort of nice. Do you know there are 90 billion galaxies? I get a little tentative when I hear that.
Jim Harrison is a colossus, a legend, and the last of his kind.
People forget children grow up making up stories, and that's all I'm doing as an adult, you know?
He is one of America's greatest poets. The author of 39 novels and books, many set in Montana, including The Legends of the Fall. He's a screenwriter and gourmet. In his food memoir, The Raw and the Cooked, he chronicles many, many epic meals. He has lived a life that can only be imagined. Dan is his friend and confidant, and the two have for years hunted and fished together.
Here's to the game.
His health prevents him from hunting, but not from enjoying a meal of spatchcock Hungarian partridge.
I made a liver loaf with elk meat, elk liver, and pork fat.
Awesome.
Some spices. Gonna have some beets, quail in aspic.
Quail en gelée.
En gelée. Elk carpaccio.
And a morel and chanterelle risotto using a stock made from 10 pounds of roasted game bird bones.
And smoked trout?
Smoked trout, yeah. We caught these on the Bighorn.
You know, this is my problem in Montana. All this primitive country-ass cooking that you local yokels do. Oh, and a risotto with wild mushrooms. It's awesome. Every time I come here, I say, are there others like you?
Yeah, a few.
That risotto is gorgeous.
Excellent. Jimmy, you want to grab a hun right here? Okay, and a couple of morels.
Is writing any way to make a living?
No, not largely.
I try to explain this to people. You have to be either a monster of self-regard, delusional, or just so lucky that, I mean, the forces of the universe are aligned against you.
Yeah, the only thing you can do is if you're just completely tenacious and right in disregard for every outside circumstance that there is. Most people look in the mirror and say, you know, I'm getting old or something like that. But Shakespeare, the poet, said, devouring time, blood thou thy lion's paws. That's a little better, huh?
Nice view. I cannot complain about this.
Yeah.
So what are you doing? Around half a year here and half a year in
Arizona.
Arizona.
Real interesting culture. My ever-present Border Patrol, which I tease a lot. I'll be hunting and their Border Patrol plane flies over and I run under a tree like I'm hiding. And then their vehicles start swarming in. They say, "Harrison, you asshole." I said, "I'm trying to keep you on your toes."
What was it about this place that hooked you?
Well, I'm claustrophobic, acutely so. So Montana's about the best place you could live. You never feel hemmed in any direction. You could go miles and miles. It had been very hot for 3 weeks, so I worked well into a cool night when at 3 a.m. a big thunderstorm hit. The lightning was relentless 200 years ago when the Cheyenne from the east attacked the Absaroka in this valley. A group of the Cheyenne were Masom, the wolves of heaven, warriors who painted themselves solid yellow. I want to be a yellow wolf of heaven. They disappeared into the lightning.
Some places surprise you. Even if you've been traveling nearly non-stop for 15 years like me, there are places that snap you out of your comfortable worldview, take your assumptions and your prejudices, and turn them upside down. They lead you to believe that maybe there is hope in the world. Senegal is one of those places.
I took a walk through this beautiful world. Felt the cool rain on my shoulder. Found something good in this beautiful world. I felt the rain getting colder. Sha la 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 la, sha la 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 la. Sha la 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 la, sha la 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 la.
At first, you see what you see in so many places in Africa. The noisy streets, busy markets, the controlled, consensual chaos of daily commerce. But look just a little bit longer, a little bit deeper, and you'll see it's so different here from its neighbors, from anywhere, really. A rebuke to those who paint a whole continent as a monolith of despair, or Islam as something to be feared. Senegal turns simple-minded assumptions and prejudice on their heads at every turn.
How did you come to know and like and love this country?
I think it was just listening and watching and thinking, gosh, this is quite different to all the other countries I know. For a start, the language. You've heard Wallo?
Yes.
Sometimes you think people were quarreling.
Right.
And they're not. They're loving. They're laughing.
Ophabia Quist-Arcton is the NPR Africa correspondent. She's of Ghanaian descent, but has made Dakar, the Senegalese capital, her home for over 10 years.
The Senegalese are easy to get on with, and they care about you. And I guess that's what we all want as human beings, isn't it? To be loved, to be cherished, and I found that here. I won't be here forever, because I'm from Ghana, but I will be visiting forever, because there are no two Senegals. I mean, c'est vraiment un pays extraordinaire. I think the Senegalese are extraordinary. They're open, they welcome you, and for me, that about makes a good place to live.
I feel like I'm with this assumption that Senegal will be yet another failed state, or yet another state that has gone through a really terrible post-colonial period that never really, that transitioned badly.
You'll know that Senegal is one of the few countries never had a coup d'etat. And I think that just makes such a huge difference to a nation. We're in a 90+% Muslim country.
Right.
Their first president, a Catholic, who governed for 20 years. And of course, there were elements of repression, but not as we've seen in many other African countries.
Europeans first reached West Africa in the mid-15th century, bringing with them the usual things: an industrialized slave trade, subjugation, the rule of the many by the very few. In the carving up of a continent, it was France that got Senegal. And commanding a favored status within France's West African colonial holdings, the Senegalese gained full rights as French citizens in the late 1800s. With independence in 1960, power passed bloodlessly and with stunning cordiality. Though overwhelmingly a Muslim country, Senegal elected Léopold Senghor, a Catholic, as their first president. And from that time on, Senegal has enjoyed a moderate political and religious climate unique almost anywhere in the world.
Well, food is great when cultures meet, you know, because the colonial power brought their food culture. I think that's what makes great food. And Senegal is great for that because of its geographical location. It's a crossroad. I think that's what makes the food quite unique here.
Pierre Cham is a chef, restaurateur, and cookbook author who was born and raised here at Dakar. His books are absolutely fundamental references when investigating Senegalese cuisine.
This is Senegalese favorite fish. It's called chof. It kind of tastes like grouper, so I think we should have it. Grilled fish.
Senegal has famously delicious food, flavors and often ingredients that should be eerily familiar to any fan of Southern cooking. We meet at Cour de Cassation Beach, serving food just the way I like it. A shack on the water, catch of the day, cooked up out back.
This whole thing is illegal, actually.
Right.
They don't have
But
a
I mean, they
license.
continuously operate. I mean,
But every once in a
technically-
while I come and it's closed, the police shuts them down.
Right, and then they come back.
And then they come back, you know.
Oh, these are supposed to be good, right? This is local beer.
It's a
It's
local
the finest of the local beer.
Well, it's considered the people's beer. It's the cheapest one.
Oh, well,
Yes.
figures. I'm a cheap date. You want to hide these?
Actually, they just put it under the table, actually.
You know what I'm going to do? Yeah.
Cheers, man.
Cheers.
Welcome to Dakar.
Thank you. So, I'm really interested in your story. I mean, you were born here.
Yeah, right here, Dakar.
Right here in Dakar.
Yeah.
Went to New York.
Yes.
I mean, I'm jumping ahead some, but...
First job in New York was a restaurant job, like
Of course.
every immigrant.
Right.
You know, I was a busboy, actually. But from a busboy, just fell in love with what was happening behind the kitchen, because, you know, I come from a culture where kitchen is a women activity, you know, so it's like I'd never seen men cooking.
What was the type of cuisine you were learning?
Mostly American, continental American, and then it turned into Jean-Claude was French bistro.
Right.
From Jean-Claude, boom, opened around the corner. It was like early 90s.
Wait a minute, boom, on Spring Street.
On Spring Street.
Okay, wait a minute. Now, I used to work at that store before it was called WPA. So we work in the same restaurant kitchen.
Same kitchen.
Downstairs, kitchen was downstairs.
I can't believe this, man. Because Boom was really the defining moment for me. And Boom had like this global ethnic / Italian.
So you saw a window to start introducing West African flavors.
Yeah.
And it worked. People were receptive to that.
Absolutely, yeah.
Tonight, we're having yassa, made with the local fish called chof. Cooked simply, on the bone, wrapped in foil, and steamed over the fire. Served with a mignonette-type sauce of onions.
Oh, yeah.
Grilled mussels, sea urchin.
Grilled mussels, cool. Yeah. Oh, that's good. I'm starving. I mean, I'm really hungry. So, what distinguishes Senegalese cuisine from the neighbors?
I think we have the best food in the continent.
You've traveled in the American South?
Yeah.
I mean, you notice some things about the food?
That's familiar. It's so familiar.
I mean, look, like shrimp and grits. Okay, I mean, I've eaten shrimp and grits in Africa many times. I mean, they call it something else.
Exactly. I think the most interesting part of American food is our contribution.
How did you feel when you first turned on TV and you see some, rich white lady and she says, well, we're about to do, my family, this is an old family recipe, an American classic, a traditional favorite. And you said, wait a minute, that's
mine.
That's mine. I mean, happy, proud, pissed off, what?
Oh yeah, proud, happy too. No, not pissed off. No, I wasn't never pissed off. I thought, I think food is such a great way of uniting people, It's like breaking barriers. Food is not only about feeding yourself here. In Senegal, it's a whole culture. The most important value is what we call teranga. The more you share, the more your bowl will be plentiful. It's not how much you have, it's how much you give. That's what matters in Senegal. So teranga is that culture.
The call to prayer, 5 times a day, every day, but Friday at 2 p.m. is the most important. Dakar shuts down as people head to the mosque. The invocation of the muezzin reverberates throughout the city. The mosques fill to capacity. People spill onto the sidewalks and streets. They pray where they can. In Senegal, the majority of people are Sufi Muslims, practicing a mystic form of Islam, which is often considered more tolerant.
Senegal is very different from other countries. We are very tolerant. We also have, in Senegalese family, Christian married to Muslim, Muslim married to Christian. So you don't really know exactly who's Christian, and you don't really know who's Muslim.
It is a comfortable assumption that Islam is oppressive to women, that it allows no room for personal expression, that it forces women to hide themselves. These ladies, however, make that argument more complicated. Fama Diouf is a photographer. Umi Nador is a journalist and television presenter. Mignel Tall is an entrepreneur and owner of a group of salons. As the country changes, many, if not most, have adopted the cultural values and styles of the West. However, 2 of these women have chosen to wear the traditional hijab.
A lot of people who watch this, particularly women, look at the hijab in particular as an instrument, at very least as an instrument of male oppression. What would you say to them?
For me, religion is a personal thing. And I decided to get this. So why people keep on asking me every day, why?
Well, I think the simple answer is that what to you is a personal lifestyle choice looks too much of the world like a political choice.
It is a choice for me.
Yeah.
So, some of Senegalese girls, they have choice to wear Western clothes. I have also the right to wear Arab fashion.
In a way, the reason behind it for every Muslims will be modesty. Whether you come from a rich background or a poor background, people should not judge you on the way you dress. She doesn't want you to be like, oh my gosh, I loved her hair. Oh, the earrings. Oh, the watch. No. You see us as something threatening, but we are just here in peace.
What about women's roles here traditionally? In many of the African countries that I've been to, often you will see the man walking up front and behind the wife and the children, you know, carrying the bucket of water or, you know, laden down, doing the work.
I mean, here in Dakar, you're not gonna see it.
You say that with determination.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I am definitely sure for that. Okay.
As if you will personally ensure that you won't.
Yes. Seriously, I think it's time for women to change the face of Senegal.
Why not now?
They're not ready for that right now.
Why not? What's missing?
You will have powerful women, like arguing for what we call parité here, so gender balance. And then you take that same woman and you tell her that her son is supposed to start cooking and doing the laundry. Laundry is even worse.
Sorry, what's wrong with that?
So for a Senegalese woman, taking care of her man and treating him as a king is part of who she is, and she's taking proud out of it.
It's too easy to be a boy here in Senegal. Nothing. Nothing.
There's been men in the position of presidential, but we can have also a woman in the head of Senegal. If we don't try, we will never know.
Sometimes we get lucky. We get to do things on this show just because it's a show that are frankly awesome. Like this, a small restaurant in Dakar, the delicious smells of Senegalese cooking coming from the kitchen, a band. One of the most beloved musicians on the African continent, famous throughout the world for blending traditional music of the region with Cuban rumba, American jazz, and R&B. Mbalax, as it came to be known, has had an enormous influence on musicians worldwide, like that Sting guy, Tracy Chapman, and St. Bruce of Asbury, and most famously, his frequent collaborator, Peter Gabriel.
Start to talk about you when you were age 12, when you started to perform professionally?
Yeah.
But did you come from a musical tradition?
My mom, she's a griot. Griot are the storytellers. They are also singers, rappers, and everything. And I grew with my grandma. She was a big singer. She gave me a lot of things. And from there, going to the school for 2 years, then left the school and start my career.
Tonight we are having a beef mafe, which is a stew thickened with ground peanuts. There are similar preparations throughout West Africa, but the Senegalese version is particularly great. Sear the beef, cook the onion, garlic, peppers, and carrots, deglaze with ground peanuts and broth, bringing up all that good stuff from the pan, then simmer until tender and awesome. Serve hot over rice.
Wow.
Ah.
That looks good.
That's good. Good. Thank you.
Wow, this is very, very good.
The symbol of connection Mali and Senegal is the mafe. These things you can appreciate here, you can appreciate in the Mali also.
So what's the future?
Future?
The future, 20 years from now. Where will Senegal be?
What I hope is in 20 years, Senegal is going to be the place for great and big contribution of what we call Islam.
Do you think there's any danger of the kind of radical Islam that we see taking hold in many places in Africa?
All these people who are using the religion, Muslim religion, to do bad things, I think Senegal have an example. I think this country have models of the religion. This country, you know, you are here, I'm doing my local bisap, and you are with your beer. In country, 95% Muslim. And I think this example can help the world.
I hope so. Inshallah.
Inshallah. Jërëjëf. Merci, thank you.
Time stopped. That's what it seems like in the city of Saint Louis when the sun is at its highest and the streets are empty. 160 miles up the coast from Dakar, the one-time capital was a hub for all French West Africa, an important port at the mouth of the Senegal River.
S'il vous plaît, un baguette comme ça.
Every culture has an iconic, much-loved street food, the kind of thing you yearn for when you're away. We have our dirty water hot dogs in New York. Here, they have nadambe.
Nambe, s'il vous plaît.
What people have described as a bean sandwich, but what is really a spread of spicy lentils on a baguette. You buy your baguette at the bakery, bring it over to the nice lady. She slathers on the good stuff, and there you go. And it is indeed addictively delicious.
Je crois qu'on ne peut bien comprendre le cas de Saint-Louis, la situation de Saint-Louis, on ne peut bien le comprendre que si on connaît bien la géographie. Parce que ce qui a fait cette ville, de mon point de vue, c'est son fleuve. Parce que c'est un fleuve qui dessert 5 États, 5 pays. Mali, Mauritanie, Sénégal, bien sûr, Guinée.
So everything came through here.
Qui sont
Attitudes about many things are decidedly different here. Where many post-colonial cultures are ambivalent or conflicted about their bloodlines, picking black or white to identify with, here people are proud of who they are and where they came from. All of it.
I'm curious why the post-colonial experience in Senegal is so different than the post-colonial experience almost everywhere else?
I think that the pre-colonial and the colonial experience in Senegal is different also. Not only the post-colonial experience, because Saint Louis had lots of influences, I think.
Arab,
So,
Portuguese.
before that, Portuguese and English first.
Yes.
They were here. And after that, from the Morocco.
My feeling also is that because we're at the crossing of various roads, independently from the colonization period, makes the Senegalese people very open-minded, very good negotiator also.
Marie-Caroline Camara is a Saint-Louis métisse, Senegalese father, French mother, and she's hosted a lunch with some friends and colleagues, all of whom consider themselves Senegalese first before anything.
And my feeling compared to other African countries is that maybe it's come also from the Wolof women, because the Métis family here, people were really married. But at least
between Wolof and other groups.
You know, compared to West Indies, where even if people had, some white people had children with their slaves, they were not recognized. Here, all these children and unions were recognized.
Yes.
So for me, that is very special.
The most richest in Senegal is our culture. It's not petrol, oil, or other thing. I think that is our culture, our type of life, our customs.
Music.
Music, yes, our culinary art.
Okay, so we're eating mulet farci à la Saint-Louisienne.
Lovely.
It's a big fish from the river.
Mullet farci, stuffed mullet, the fish deboned and filled with a seafood farce of fish, herbs, vegetables, and bread, and baked.
It's an amazing meal, delicious.
Amazing meal?
Yes, really good. So, how are things in Senegal today?
How things? What kind of things?
Is the environment good for business in Senegal now? Is it getting better? I mean, there seems to be a lot of money coming in Dakar. You see buildings going up. Somebody's building.
The key thing for me will be the development of businesses. And because when you look at all these young people in Saint-Louis, and there is no companies to employ them, let the young people take a big part of the power, which is not in our tradition, but we need the young people to be strong.
If you could compare yourself to someplace else in another major city in the world.
Yes.
The New York of Western Africa?
The Hong Kong of West Africa.
Oh, no, ouch. Yeah, you're right.
Kuilal ma demba machangayo, ni kuilal that side, kuilal sama domje, ayo be yo, kuilal ma demba machangayo, ni kuilal that side. Kuilal sama domje feral sai rongoñ.
C'est trop beau.
Money. You like it, I like it, we all like it. And there's a flood of green pouring into the developing world. Greedhead foreign speculators for sure, but also entrepreneurs, often educated abroad, but returning to build businesses around a growing middle class. Telecoms to financial institutions to the restaurants that grow up around them. Maquis were once neighborhood working-class dive bars. Now, many are becoming more respectable drinking establishments. The Brooklynization of Africa begins.
Cheers.
I joined Pierre, his film professor brother Christian Cham, and their friend Patma Jauji, a local businessman.
Who is joining the middle class in Senegal? Where are they coming from?
Most of the people are local people who now get proper training.
Right.
And then you have a small group of guys like us who went abroad and are coming back.
Now, a phenomena that I have seen in other countries in West Africa is one where people leave either because of war, oppression, necessity, financial, education, and when they come back, there is resentment. How do they feel about people like you who go and they come back?
You know, unlike most other places, over here, there's a tremendous amount of pride in your family. Senegalese rarely go and just cut off.
Yeah, it's true. No, that's true. But in addition to people who go, they send money back home.
There's more money coming from the immigrants than the money that we receive from the World Bank or IMF or everything like that.
Why is this the case in Senegal? Where does this attitude come from?
It's just the nature of the social fabric. It's not an individualistic society.
What about the French colonial experience? That too, was it different than?
It's
very different from Senegal to the other countries.
Because the French used Senegal as their anchor for their colonial expansion. The French then said, okay, you Senegalese, we're going to train you up to borderline high school education, and you're going to be the forefront, the fulcrum of our administrative service. So if you go to Côte d'Ivoire, you go to Burkina, a lot of the guys who are running the administration were Senegalese.
I think one of the major differences between Senegal and the other countries, not that we're better or anything like that, but in Senegal, it's probably one of the only countries in West Africa, or probably in all Africa, where I can be from one ethnic group and he can be from a different ethnic group. But we can talk without French, using a local language and understand each other, because everybody speaks Wolof.
I happen to believe that this world is going to be a better place when more cultures are actually given a chance to be put at the table.
Each generation has its mission. We have a saying in one of the say, Yalla Bahna, I mean, God is great. And we always say it when there is no solution. We say, oh, Yalla Bahna, and you leave it in the hand of God. But we tell people, this is in our hand. This is our future and the future of the next generation coming.
As relatively good as things have been for Senegal, democracy, as it turns out, requires regular maintenance, diligence needed, and the willingness to stand up. Jilly Baghdad is a musician and activist who's doing what, well, the last poets and Chuck D and others have done before him. Say things that are important, loudly and often. They call him debiteri, and debi is generally grilled spiced lamb, hacked into pieces and served on grease-stained paper with grilled onions and mustard on the side.
Well, that was quick. From the beginning, I mean, was there always like a social justice, political component to what you were doing musically?
From day one. The first thing we did was go do a campaign called My Voting Card, My Weapon. And we did songs and we did mobile concerts all over the country to raise awareness. And it was the bum rush in the registering spots. Everybody went to register. That's a step. As little as it could seem, that's a step into being conscious of what your power is.
In 2012, then-President Abdoulaye Wade fell victim to the maybe I should be president for life syndrome that afflicts so many of his neighbors. He proposed amending the Constitution so that he could run for a third term, as well as creating a new vice presidential position which many feared he intended for his son. Jilly and many, many young people like him were having none of it. They formed a group called Y'en a marre, or Fed Up. Using music as a draw and a hook, they threw enormous rallies across the country, made aggressive and innovative use of social media, all in the cause of getting out the vote and shutting anti-democratic initiatives down. It worked.
I know that like with this civic movement that we started and raising awareness, I think the African Union of people can start from here, because this is amazing. The new generation will learn from what we've done, and maybe the next president might not be a politician at all. You never know.
Obvious question, why don't you run for office?
No, I'm not an aspiring politician, not at all. But I can see myself helpful for my community. We have everything to emerge. It's about believing in ourselves and trusting ourselves that we can do it.
Lac Rose, known for its pink hue and salt harvesters, sits near the Senegalese coast. And not too long ago was also the finish line for a legendary trans-African endurance race.
Okay? Yeah, great. No problem.
Driving up to 10,000 grueling kilometers from Paris, south through Spain, across Morocco, down the Western Sahara, all the way to, well, right here. The Paris-Dakar Rally tested its drivers like no other race, sometimes driving over 20 hours a day over ground like this.
So this is the same road that the rally Paris-Dakar took.
Jean Hazard is a Senegalese of Lebanese descent who grew up here watching the final stretch of the race. It was a galvanizing event for him. He has since completed the race himself 3 times.
So when I was young, I came with my parents to see the arrival of the Paris-Dakar race.
Yeah.
That's why I like to make races.
It's been 8 years since specially modified true off-road vehicles with powerful engines and cutting-edge designs roared across the desert and through tiny African villages. I, of course, had to try out one of these beasts, and it's about as much fun as you can have while wearing pants.
Where am I going?
Just. It's nice.
Just like this.
First time?
Good pace, yeah. It's like driving in snow.
Yes.
After terrassing around for a few hours, it's traditionally chicken and beer on the beach. We're joined by Jean's fellow Paris-Dakar racers, Mamles Jallo and Abdou Cham.
My friend Mamles made 12 times the Paris-Dakar.
12 times?
Okay. With bike.
Motorbike. On a motorbike? Yeah. Wow. So what happened? It stopped in...
The last race was in 8.
2007.
Yeah. In 2008, we were at the start, and we didn't start.
That's right.
We didn't start.
They canceled the race.
In 2008, officials shut the event down with racers from all over the world at the starting line, a response to the murder of 4 French citizens in Mauritania and to the discovery of potential terrorist threats against the race in the region. The race, now called the Dakar Rally, was moved off the African continent and currently runs much of the length of South America.
But will it come back? What do you think?
Here in Senegal?
Yeah.
Never.
Whoa!
I hope so.
Never.
Why? Why never?
Because these people, when they live, they did it not in a fair way.
So you think they don't deserve to have it back?
No.
But is there still racing here? within the country, within Senegal? I mean, you race.
We have, after South Africa, the second circuit in all over Africa. It's very, very, very important for us, for Africa, and it's exceptional for us. How do you like the chicken? It's okay?
Oh, man, it's good. Are you kidding me? Hitting it hard. So you told me before that if I wanted to, I could get in the car and drive to Saint Louis. That way.
That's the way.
How long will that take?
C'est plus court.
Flat out.
An hour and a half.
Let's go.
You are
Let me finish my chicken. Pierre Cham's Aunt Marie is the matriarch of the family. She often hosts uncles, aunts, sons and daughters, friends and relatives from near and abroad.
Teranga is hospitality. That's the translation. But it's the most important value is really the way you treat the other. Love. You receive love. That's what Teranga is. So today you are our guest, so you'll be treated with our national dish.
Everyone comes together, often over this iconic dish, chebujan, which in Wolof means simply rice with fish. It's pretty much the national dish of Senegal. Today, it's Senegalese grouper, scored and stuffed with a mixture of garlic, parsley, and peppers, then slow simmered in a hearty tomato broth, infused with a funkatizing goodness brought by fermented conch and saltfish, served over rice and vegetables.
I'm gonna watch you and I'm gonna do what you do.
Let's do it. Let's go.
The meal is eaten from one communal platter, an experience both fun and instructive, sustenance and life lesson.
Oh, that's good. Oh, that sauce is awesome.
Normally, children are not allowed to talk and to go too far in the middle of the plate.
So they gotta eat around the edges?
So you will have an adult, the mother or an aunt or something, cutting pieces of fish or meat for them.
It's a way to teach them to be content with their portion. You know, not only children, but everyone. You have to imagine a triangle in front of you, and that's the triangle that is your limit to the bowl. Right. You have to chew slowly. You have to be patient. So all these values are taught when we eat around the bowl.
So if I were looking for a metaphor for a Senegalese society, this would be it?
This is it. This is Senegalese society. Senegal is a special country.
ñu bokk xalaat bokk gis-gis bokk yéene we Africa.
A few years back, I got the words, "I am certain of nothing," tattooed on my arm. It's what makes travel what it is, an endless learning curve, the joy of being wrong, of being confused. Africa, more than any other continent, needs to be seen by the world as both the place we all came from and where we are going.
Walk together, keep on walking. Chef Anta Diop, Kwame Nkrumah, Stephen Biko, Nelson Mandela, all you people.
You think animals are sentient?
I think pain is, you know, pain is pain. If you don't respond to that, you know, there's something seriously wrong.
That's very Buddhist of you, I think.
Look, when I worked in Cape Cod, my job is to load this steamer with lobsters, and they don't scream, but you know, you hear them scratching against the thing. I'd have dreams that I'm in a sauna, and I look through the window, and there's this giant lobster, like a bib with a chef on it, you know.
I took a walk through this beautiful world. Felt the cool rain on my shoulder. Found something good in this beautiful world. I felt the rain getting colder. Sha la 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 la, sha la 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 la, sha la 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 la, sha la 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 la.
Bhutan, a remote, relatively rarely visited kingdom of myth and legend, high in the Himalayas, known as Land of the Thunder Dragon. One of the reasons it's not on the tourist trail is it's hard to get to. Flying in, you hang onto your seat as the plane negotiates some alarming maneuvers through narrow mountain passes before dropping into the country's only international airport, said by some to be the most dangerous in the world. Located between India and Tibet, Bhutan, about the size of Switzerland, is caught between the old world and the new. Thimphu is Bhutan's capital and largest city. It has a rapidly growing population of 100,000, as Bhutanese have begun the inevitable move away from a rural agrarian lifestyle. Tourism was only allowed starting in the 1970s. The amount of foreign visitors each year is strictly limited to protect Bhutan's culture and environment. There are no Starbucks, no KFCs, no king or clown. Basically, they don't want you to come here, at least en masse.
Watch your head.
Yeah, right?
Wow. What do you think of the altitude? How are you feeling?
I'm here because of this guy, my friend, the film director, Darren Aronofsky, fresh off the unjustifiably horrified reaction to what I think is his masterpiece, Mother.
But I don't know if you've studied the effects of high altitude. You know, your blood gets thicker and thicker until it's like freaking marmalade.
All right.
We'll be dying slowly.
Awesome.
Mother is an angry and thinly veiled warning that we are destroying our planet. And policy-wise, Bhutan is something of an environmental wonderland.
We want to protect the country from being overly influenced by foreign values, culture, you know, all of the bad stuff that happens with tourism. Has anyone made a film here?
I don't know. It's got to be hard to work here.
Yeah, plus talk about contaminating the values of the local culture. I mean, that'll
Well, we don't, Hollywood doesn't do that.
Our first meal becomes our go-to favorite for the rest of the trip. If I'm not on camera, chances are I'm somewhere eating these bad boys. Momos. Plump, flavorful, often quite spicy dumplings filled with meat, cheese, or veg. Did I mention Darren is a vegetarian?
God damn, he's woke.
They are really good.
Try chili cheese momo.
Pardon?
Chili cheese momo.
Cheese, mama?
Chili cheese. Yes.
Wow, everybody's
It's the thing to do.
Okay.
All right, here we go. Oh, that's excellent.
Yeah.
That's spicy.
That is, yeah, I'm feeling that.
I feel it in the back of my head.
It's enlightenment. It's your third eye opening, man.
I can't even tell what we're talking about. I'm like so high from the altitude.
Morning in Bhutan's capital, a kingdom that has existed contentedly in a state of self-imposed isolation for centuries.
In some forms of Buddhism, you're very much, this life does not matter at all. It's about the next. And on the other extreme, it's all about today, right now. The form of Buddhism practiced here is the middle path.
Middle path, Mahayana Tantric Buddhism.
Buddhists consider the next life.
Yes, and always it's your karma.
And karma.
Whatever tragedies fall on you, death in the family, karma. It's all about an attitude. Pick up and move on. Once His Holiness the Dalai Lama told me, every day when you rise up, you try and be as good a human being as possible. That's more important than being religious.
Beautiful day today.
Winter days are normally like this every day. In the good old days, we used to have snowfalls about 4 or 5 times a year. But over the last decade or so, it's decreased a lot.
Noticeably, really.
Some glacial lakes have disappeared completely.
Dasho Benji Durji is known as Bhutan's godfather of environmental conservation.
And in Tantric Buddhism, is there a respect for nature?
There is a lot of respect.
You don't mess with nature.
Yeah, you don't mess with nature. This is a traditional welcome drink, is an ara. It's a raw alcohol. The normal toast is tashi dile.
Tashi dile.
Tashi dile. May good fortune be with you. I'm a retired alcoholic, so I will not join you.
Okay.
Pretty good.
Yeah.
Kind of a warm sake, but made out of wheat.
Yeah.
Yes.
If you tell us a little more about the chef.
Oh, she and her husband are both colonels in the Royal Bhutan Police.
Oh, wow.
We have to use the finger touch so that the flavors come out.
These recipes, where do they come from?
They come from the farms, from all the local houses, just passed down.
These 9 grains have a very historical and spiritual significance. There was one saint called Dhofar. He's known as the Madman.
The divine madman.
Yes, of course.
So when he came to Bhutan, he carried the 9 grains. This is the hide, the yak hide.
Yes.
Hot Szechuan pepper. Lots of tomatoes to tone down the pepper. This is the yak hide. It's a delicacy. And then this is, the green one is the orchid flower.
Oh. I always think it's very exotic, the orchid, but they say it's good for your health.
That's really amazing.
Can you tell us about the famous gross national happiness?
Well, you have in your constitution the pursuit of happiness, the right of every individual.
Yeah, but we don't actually believe that. But please proceed.
But, I do believe in gross national happiness, good governance, human rights, justice for all, education, health.
It is not a wealthy country. The average daily wage is very low. Yeah. But would you say that the average person living in Bhutan is reasonably happy and content?
Most people, yes. Bhutan is a good welfare state where the health of people are taken care of, and taken care of very well.
It's a 2.5-hour drive from the capital to the picturesque mountain village of Punakha. This is a must-see destination and one-time home to Bhutan's revered and beloved Drukpa Khinli, known as the Divine Madman.
Beep, beep. Beep, beep. Beep, beep.
Okay, here you go.
Wow. So, I mean, we can
I really kind of got nothing to say.
Now, dear viewer, Bhutan is a very devoutly Buddhist country, and in such circumstances, I always do my very best to be respectful and restrained, shying away from my usual toilet humor.
Never in the history of television has a host faced a greater challenge. How to talk about what's happening without, without making the obvious joke.
God, give me strength as we wander through the valley of the low-hanging dick jokes.
I'm trying to be respectful of a 5th-century religious tradition here.
For centuries, Bhutan has celebrated the, phallus.
I'm not sure about the teeth.
This is the necklace one.
Ooh. I'm trying to think of a circumstance you could wear that around your neck.
You see them everywhere here.
Oh, jeez, it's a cock-a-lanch.
You can make a chess set out of them, though.
Really?
Yeah.
My dick takes your shots.
Exactly.
No, that's a little,
That's making a statement of something.
Yeah, it is, it is.
All right, I'm gonna go for the sad one. And you're going for a sort of...
It's a rainbow dick.
5, 6.
I want to see this appearing on a budget, by the way.
Exactly, how do you write this off? Do I add a little tip?
No. Do we have a bag? Can I pass this along? I'm not walking around with it. You know what I mean? I'm holding tips. I feel like
so
I'm...
what do they... Tell me what they represent.
Embarrassment? All right.
All this is the legacy of Drukpa Khinli, a lama and holy man who lived 500 years ago and spread the tenets of Buddhism along with a healthy skepticism for the institutions of power.
We are sitting just below the Chimilhagang, which is a temple built in the honor of Drukpa Khinli. The temple is also known as the Temple of Fertility.
He reveled unapologetically in casual sex, the copious use of spirits, and seduction, smiting demons and making frequent friends with what is referred to as his flaming thunderbolt of wisdom, which is a term you and I are unlikely to get away with.
People from all over the world come here to buy wooden penises and to hear the stories of the divine
blessings from the palace, the Phallus Palace.
Phallus Palace. They bless you with a
phallus. Yeah.
Kungasuk Tenzin Dorji is a journalist and radio host who knows a few things about the Divine Madman.
The phallus has been a symbol in Vajrayana Buddhism long before Drukpa Khinli came around. It's just that because he was such a character, it's come to be associated with him.
The Divine Madman was a rebel, questioned his own religion, his fellow monks.
So the monks hated him, of course, at that time. The establishment hated him. But the people took readily to him because he was a guy who came to your house. It didn't mean that, you know, like other monks, you had to prepare a special meal for him. He probably wanted your latest batch of ara, you know, the local rice wine. And maybe he'd hit on your daughter and your wife as well in the process. So you could imagine in 16th century Bhutan, a person who was known to have performed miracles would strike the fancy of anyone.
What were his miracles?
Well, things like shooting an arrow all the way from Tibet and landed in a house that's about a few kilometers from here.
But he did exist, right?
Yeah. Then the first thing he did when he got to the house where the arrow had landed was to hit upon the lady of the house.
Yeah, that wouldn't fly these days.
This is one of the most difficult things to understand about Drukpa Khinli because he breaks our notions about what is right and what's proper.
This man was essentially saying, we should make love.
True.
We should drink. We should feel pleasure.
Oh, well, not necessarily that. I think what he was trying to say is that, you know, all these things that you hold dear to your heart, such as, you know, your wife and your kids and your house and all of this, in the end, it doesn't really matter.
So you're saying the Divine Madman was bringing people towards enlightenment?
Yes.
So should I be getting drunk more and having more casual sex? Will I be more enlightened?
No, not just because of that. I'm sure not.
Until about 15 years ago, the East-West Highway was the only road in Bhutan. Bisecting the country, it twists through some pretty gnarly mountain passes, with at times crumbly cliff face on one side.
Wow.
And harrowing freaking drop-offs on the other. The road is undergoing a major expansion, with plans to have it fully paved by, well, soon. Just carving this out of the mountain.
Unbelievable. How many workers they say working this?
40,000. Respect for the natural world is fundamental to Bhutan's spiritual identity. More than half the country is off limits to development or timbering. A whopping 50% of Bhutan's GDP comes from hydropower.
Amazing, huh?
So where are we? What is this place?
This is the Punatangshu hydropower dam. So this is one of the biggest hydropower dams in Bhutan. It's about 1,200 megawatts.
How much is that?
That's a lot of refrigerators. I heard there's going to be a second
dam further down.
So they're going to capture power twice.
If you have already destroyed one river, you know, might as well use
Keep
it.
building
it
it up.
Yeah, get the most out of it.
Dr. Nawang Norbu is the director of the School for Field Studies Bhutan program.
And what country is building this?
It's mostly India.
Do the Indians build it and then get the power to pay it?
They get the power. We sell it to them, and then we sort of liquidate the loans away. We have 5 such dams which are operational.
5.
And I think 6 being constructed at the moment. You know, obviously there's a lot of destruction. It will stop some of the fishes from migrating up and down. We're also talking about a lot of transmission lines. But obviously for Bhutan, I think when we started on the path of development, I think we were left with few other options. And I think this was the best thing for us to do.
The water that comes through this dam, is it an inexhaustible supply?
It's all glacial water.
We hope so. There are many studies which are showing that the Himalayan glaciers will disappear in about 50 to 60 years.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. That's soon.
Yeah.
Yeah, but nobody knows for sure. I mean, the science is debatable.
Are we talking about the difference between 50 years and 100 years?
Maybe.
Or are we talking about whether it's happening at all?
No, it is happening. There's no doubt about it.
There's no doubt.
And you're not only talking about energy production, but you're also talking about agriculture. You know, you have less snow means you have less water to feed. So climate change is going to have a serious impact.
As we head further and further east, road conditions get sketchier.
Whoa. Whoa.
Wow. Caught in a landslide. That whole thing collapsed.
That's not encouraging. What if our car had been there? That's a big freaking...
Shoot, he's gonna have to move that whole thing?
I think we're gonna freeze out here like rats tonight.
He's looking low, he's going after the big one. Here he goes. Whoa.
Hey, he's through.
I think that's it.
Saddle up.
best song about the road. It's almost heaven, West Virginia, Blue Ridge Mountains, country roads.
John Denver?
That's where my head went first.
Wow. It is considered enlightening and therapeutic to think about death for a few minutes a day.
Yes. You are reminded time and again not to take things too seriously. This is, in fact, an illusion, isn't it?
Life has been a dream.
Yeah.
Pelala Pass, the gateway to central Bhutan. Here, nomadic herders and their yaks come down from higher elevations to spend the winter months. And from the yak you get meat?
Meat.
The fur?
The fur, milk, cheese.
Butter?
Yeah. This is butter tea.
Yak tea.
Yeah, with yak butter.
Have you had this before?
Never.
You're either gonna love it or you're not gonna love it.
It's very unique.
It's like yak jerky.
Yak meat and some spinach.
You'll like these greens, man. They're spicy as...
Do I have yak? Is this yak meat?
Yeah, that's
here?
yak meat.
Okay, I gotta avoid the yak meat.
And then these are dried chilies, which are boiled.
The yak cheese with boiled dried chilies.
Yeah.
I'm all over that. This is excellent.
Yeah.
Excellent. Really good. So yak herding is dying, we're starting to hear. It's
People are giving it up.
Why?
Better opportunities, I suppose. Yak herding is a difficult life. She herself has given up now. So she has given all her yaks to her sisters. So she has a shop and she's gone up the ladder. Yeah, she is in charge of the business and she makes the decisions for the family. In Bhutan, women are the boss. Women inherit whatever the parents own. It's not the sons.
always.
Yes.
All inheritance goes to the women.
Women.
What is this?
This is ara with some cordyceps in it.
What? That is a cordyceps.
Right
That
there.
is the cordyceps.
Which is?
Essentially, the cordyceps is a fungus which infects the larvae of the ghost moths.
A caterpillar that has been invaded by fungus?
Essentially takes over the whole larvae, kills it, sort of mummifies the whole thing. And then in the spring, it protrudes out again.
Is there any caterpillar left at the end, or is it sort of like
It's
fossilized?
just a fossilized.
Meaning it is not meat, it is vegetarian.
Right. Cordyceps are the new profit center for a culture that used to revolve almost entirely around the yak.
Now, this stuff costs how much a kilo?
On average, it's about 20,000.
20,000 US.
Dollars.
Oh, that's a lot.
May I?
Yes, please.
What does this do for you?
It's supposed to increase your virility. It's supposed to cure piles, even hepatitis.
Really?
Hepatitis?
Yeah.
Piles, eh?
What is piles?
Hemorrhoids.
Oh.
And the Chinese athletes have been taking it for quite some time.
So they're doping on...
They're doping on
fungus. Yeah. It's pretty tasty.
Yeah, it also says that you produce more semen. I don't know how far it's true, but...
What about what's his name?
The divine madman.
Maybe the guy was, You know a lot of cordyceps.
Exactly. It's getting hot in here.
No, it's not actually. It's you, man. What happens if you eat too many?
We are here on the east-west highway. After this pass, we are actually entering the Black Mountain Forest, some of the most pristine forests in Bhutan, but also supposed to be connected to a lot of evil spirits.
With the last remnants of sun still with us, and the views spectacular, enthusiastic amateur mixologist Darren suggests a pit stop.
This is a cool spot, no?
Yeah. To fortify ourselves against the reputed horrors ahead.
So our main alcohol, Ara, is that what it's called?
Take a whiff.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh, we have this, which is a bitter.
Yeah, okay. It's like aftershave. Should we put some orange in there?
We do have oranges.
We've had that spin in the air, catch in the other hand. No, ladies. Yeah.
Oh, hold on.
What?
Hold on. Dude, it needs a Yeti in it. The Bhutanese pepper. No, go for it.
Really want the seeds in?
No, do it. Let's do it. Let's try it. It has a bite. Did you get a little sting?
Oh, I'm getting it.
Actually, this is pretty good.
Yeah, I could drink a lot of these.
We decide, as travelers through demon-infested forests at night all too frequently do, to stop by a welcoming roadhouse, where a conversation with Garab Durji, our government rep, does little to steel us for the journey ahead.
What are we drinking tonight?
We are drinking K5.
Called K5.
K5. The whiskey is dedicated to the present king. He is fifth king in line.
Do they still make K4 or no more?
No, we don't have K4, just K5.
Good, thank you.
Okay.
Most of the guys brought in from India?
Yes, most are from India.
Where do these guys live?
They have small huts built at the construction site.
In the mythology of the area, much of it likely predating even Buddhism, demons inhabit these forests. Nasty demons.
Buddha had 1,000 lives. In one of his 500 good lives, he was exiled to Bhutan because this was the most dreaded place in the world.
Maybe that's why you were never invaded.
Yeah. One of the evil spirits is called Nyanadim, and she is supposed to be the commander-in-chief of all in the evil spirit. So one of the most terrifying things you could ever see is her face. If you see her, you die.
You drop dead instantly.
You drop dead.
So if Darren has to take a piss and go out in the woods, that would not advisable?
No, it's not advisable to go out at night.
And no lumbering, no one's cutting down trees
No
here.
one. For as long as we know, the whole mountain range is virgin.
But what about putting the road through? I mean, that's why you hire Indian guys.
The road is on the other side of the mountain. We built it purposefully that way.
Really? So, nobody's got a house or...
No, nothing. There's nothing on that. Even if people loses cattle, whatever, they don't go into that.
Still,
even to this day.
Here in the mist-covered valleys and imposing peaks, it's easy to imagine what this place looked like before Bhutan first opened the door to outsiders. Boomtang is the end of the road for us, the spiritual heartland of Bhutan. Archery is the national sport, an important community event that binds remote villages together in fierce competition and in a rollicking good time. Today is the day of a match between Trongsa and a rival village. But first, food.
Okay, you have to, No, this
Bigger.
way. See, this way.
Oh, right, okay.
No, yours too big, too big.
Too big. Jeez.
Yeah, okay.
It's okay?
See, when you put it in the mouth, you have to put it this way.
Oh, okay.
No, it's not bulging. Is it bulging?
Oh, not bulging.
It should not bulge.
No bulge. Oh, yeah, I'm down with that, man.
That's pork? Why is it translucent?
They braise it rather than fry it, so it becomes clear. This is like unbelievable. Oh.
We eat everything. We don't throw it all. This is the bone.
Bone.
On the leg. Chop it and boil it.
That's good, man.
Yeah.
That's just so good.
I'm going with the pepper. Ooh.
Oh, that's setting my hair on fire.
Exactly.
This is dried turnip leaf.
Oh, turnip greens.
Turnip leaf is a delicacy in Bhutan. A little bit of butter and milk. Now, this is a yak, leg.
Yak leg.
So does meat eating go all the way back, or were people
All the
vegetarian?
way back, all the way. In fact, the Buddhists were considered cannibals.
Say that again?
Buddhists were considered cannibals. The only vegetable we had was potato and radish. That's it, nothing else.
Wow.
People don't kill, but they would eat, one another if somebody dies. We are not supposed to eat, actually.
You're not supposed to eat yak.
No, we are not supposed to eat meat.
You're not supposed to eat meat.
Buddhism, hardcore Buddhism.
But culturally, because of terrain, we had no choice.
Right.
Ooh, is that beet nut?
Yeah.
Beetle nut.
Oh, can I try?
Yeah.
I'm not having it.
Have you done it?
Yes, I have. You asked for it.
And you chew up the green?
Everything chewed together, it has...
Like cod.
Whoa. Oh, man.
You getting a buzz?
My whole mouth is numb. I gotta do something about this. Totally high off of that thing.
Ah, geez, just stepped into a fresh loaf of shit. Ugh. Right here. Ah, yeah.
Oh, jeez. It's a serious distance.
The rules are simple. Shoot your arrow the length of 1.5 football fields, high in the air, in this case across the east-west highway, all the way, hopefully, into a small target. Good luck with that.
That's like you need a 50 caliber to hit that target.
I could barely see it flying through the air. Can you see the arrows?
No.
Oh, close. What's interesting is the other team is often standing by the target and hanging out looking cool for as long as possible as an arrow flies in your general direction is standard practice. When points are scored, there's singing and dancing and a fair amount of what can only be called playful taunting. The Bhutanese version of in your face.
Brag dance.
You're drinking, man.
Yeah.
What could possibly go wrong?
One in a million shot. I love the little kid over there with the juice box, 10 feet from the line of fire.
What are they screaming?
Just want to distract,
Why?
Not to hit in the target.
So they're anti-cheerleaders.
Yes.
What are they saying though?
Oh, this short guy, he can't hit. So
they're calling him short?
Yeah, or a bald head or everything.
Whoa!
This is a very religious site. It's called the Burning Lake.
Burning Lake or Burning River?
The Burning Lake, but I think it's actually a river.
I see people are leaving prayer flags and these things.
These are called sasas, these offerings. Sometimes they're made out of clay and sometimes they're made out of actually the ashes of the dead.
Whoa.
Wow, it's pretty awesome.
It's beautiful.
Whole pile of incense. Where do you think this country is headed?
Honestly, I don't know what I believe. I don't know if it's good or bad. It seems like Shangri-La. But for the place that invented gross national happiness, they're content at under $2 a day.
Yes.
I don't want my child herding yak, and I don't know that a lot of parents do, even here.
Having a fully paved road across this entire country, this country's going to be a very, very different place in 5 years. The question is, do they stay committed to happiness and not to consumption?
Ooh.
Getting off the plane when we got here, there were many flat screen TVs.
First comes electricity, then comes the television, then come pop stars and materialism. But maybe that's arrogant. Maybe that's just, easy for me to say.
I don't know. A lot of the people we talk to, there's a tremendous amount of respect of what they have. We're finally seeing the effects of climate change in a terrifying way, which they're all going to be able to witness on their flat screen TVs. I think people are going to really hold on to treasures like this.
I know it's beautiful. I'm glad it hasn't been fucked up yet by the world.
Let's go. Sopy ya sopy luti tim la beta futi sopy duka jopo tim samo muna kushiti tim stigma volai molai to kitma that's only got for bitma त्यो जुनेली रातमा तिम्रो हात मेरो हातमा हाम्रो हो दुबईको साथमा त्यसरी नै हाम्रो दिनहरू बित्दै गयो पन्छहरू पनि धेरै धेरै गर्न थाल्यो मनको कुरो निकै अघि हामीले भन्दै गयो खुसी धेरै थिए तिम्रो साथ
supposed to put them somewhere where they'll last for a while and make a prayer.
I took a walk through this beautiful world. Felt the cool rain on my shoulder. Found something good in this beautiful world. I felt the rain getting colder. Sha la 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 la, sha la 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 la, sha la 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 la, sha la 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 la.
It's morning in the Arabian desert. The place explorer Bertram Thomas called the abode of death. But it's a beautiful place, the kind of place I look for more and more these days. Stark, empty, clean sand that stretches out seemingly forever. Oman defies expectations. It shouldn't, according to the cruel logic of the world, exist. But it does, and it's incredible. The Sultanate of Oman is an absolute monarchy, a predominantly Islamic state, and a vital strategic choke point in the world's oil supply. It is surrounded by some of the trickiest and most contentious powers in the region. And yet, here it is, relatively small, tolerant, welcoming to outsiders, peaceful, and stunningly beautiful. But Oman is facing uncertainty with succession issues and declining oil reserves. The question of what's next is a big, if often unspoken one. So pre-1970, this was a very different place to live, very different country.
Quite simply, there was nothing. We had only 3 schools all over Oman, and only for boys. We had only 2 hospitals.
For the whole country?
Yes, for the whole country. And 9 miles of paved road in Muscat.
And what happened outside of Muscat was really of no concern to
Absolutely.
leadership?
Yes.
Sheikh Zayed bin Suleiman Al Ghafri is a businessman and the son of a tribal leader. He's the kind of guy who will likely be prominent in the future of the country.
The current Sultan replaced his father and took the country really from the 19th century into the 20th century very, very quickly.
Absolutely. His Majesty took over and he changed the whole scene.
This is not a democracy, but everybody, it seems, has genuine affection and respect for the Sultan.
وتنعم المنطقة بالهدوء والاستقرار إن شاء الله.
Sultan Qaboos bin Said Al Said is the much admired and enigmatic absolute ruler and monarch. He's presided over everything Omani for the last 47 years. In that time, he has raised a nation literally from a dusty, primitive backwater to a modern, functioning, largely secular society.
His vision was to deliver the services first: electricity, water, healthcare, education. It was like a one-man show.
Usually one-man shows are not a good thing.
That's right.
Historically, seldom does that work out. But, you know, you look around and see how the country is doing now, it's pretty impressive.
It's a tremendous job that His Majesty has done. People just felt like he's the man that they were waiting for to enlighten their life and to open doors for them.
Oman, it should be understood, sits at the top of the Indian Ocean rim. The empire once stretched from Pakistan to East Africa, with important trade routes that reached from southern Africa all the way to the China Straits, Indonesia, and deep into East Asia. Modern Oman is a fraction of that size now, but its DNA, its culture, cuisine, and to some extent attitude toward the outside world is a reflection of that history. Matra is a port town in the capital of Muscat, for centuries a central hub of commerce and trade.
One of the first things I notice about the city is its very low slug. This seems like a calculated aesthetic decision.
If you're someone who wants to build your house, you first submit your plans to municipality. And if you're going above a certain height, it's generally frowned upon because the idea is to keep a sort of traditional Omani vernacular.
Aisha Stobi is a curator and PhD student focused on Middle Eastern art history. She is, like many young people here, patriotic to the point of being nerdy, as she puts it.
We have such an old history, and I think Matra is a really great example of that, you know? This is something that functions in our daily life. It functions very similarly to, say, how it would have functioned if you were coming into Matra and going into the souk, say, 200 years ago. And now we're coming to the Corniche, which is...
Oh, I just love that word.
Favorite.
I love any city with a corniche. It's such a beautiful word.
The food of Oman is a mix of flavors and ingredients and tastes from Arabia and from all over Oman's former empire. Beit Al-Luban is an old boarding house turned restaurant where you can try dishes like pakora and kashori, which both came back from India, chapati from East Africa, and shua, Oman's classic special event dish. They do one version or another of this all over the world, but shua is special. They slather a goat with a spicy paste consisting of cumin, coriander, red pepper, cinnamon, cardamom, and nutmeg. Then wrap the meat in palm or banana leaves, dig a hole, throw in some meat, cover it up, and leave underground for a day or two over hot coals.
Oman has changed in a way that's unique to anywhere I've been. I mean, I haven't seen any place that has sort of maintained the architecture and the character that this country has, and that's a really unusual thing.
It's Oman is the only country, I think, in the Gulf region that kept their tradition. And if you travel outside Muscat, you see the flavor of the old life still there.
Hassan Mir is one of Oman's preeminent fine artists who works in painting and photography. Musna Al-Musafir is a filmmaker, artist, and provocateur, representing the increasingly vocal point of view of young Omani women in the Middle Eastern art scene.
I think in Arabia we have a tradition of storytelling and saying things without saying them directly. They took this from poetry. They have a certain language with a lot of tact, with a lot of...
Subtext.
Yeah.
There's an unusual mix here. Very graceful, very proud mix of cultures and languages.
I mean, the mix was existing from the beginning.
There is a beauty in being different and understanding the other.
Such a difficult time to make that argument. The whole world seems to be going in exactly the opposite direction. I mean, my country, the last thing anyone seems to want to do is highlight the other.
I think people discuss like fears of multiculturalism, but within Oman, because of our seafaring history, it's a traditional reality. It's our background, it's who we are.
About the Vietnam War. What you might not know is that while that conflict raged on, Oman, along with an elite force of British special operators and military advisors, was engaged in a war in the country's southern Dhofar region that was in every way far more vital to American security interests and of far more importance to global strategic and economic concerns.
Where we operated were the frankincense trees. Frankincense that the wise men brought to Christ. All of a sudden, it came from the mountains where we were fighting. And you know, sitting behind a machine gun on a track which had been used for 3,000 years, one felt like an intruder in history. And if the trees were cut, you could smell the frankincense. The smell of explosives. The smell of blood, the smell of the food, cardamom, the smell of the tea. I loved it. This was a civil war. Civil wars typically are the worst wars of all. I mean, you know that well enough in your country.
But most people have not heard of it.
No, they haven't. But you'd have heard about it if we'd lost it, I can tell you.
Right.
The war began as a local rebellion by the Dhofari people against the autocratic and outdated rule of then Sultan Saeed bin Temur, who had kept his nation isolated and stunted out of concern for his hold on power. What started as a local uprising quickly became a serious, full-blown communist-backed insurgency as Soviet and Chinese influence poured in through Yemen. Ian Gardner remembers the conflict well. He fought in it alongside Omani infantry as a British Royal Marine, and later wrote about the experience in his memoir, In the Service of the Sultan, a rare chronicle of the brutal, incredibly difficult, and almost entirely unknown war fought in the rugged southern mountains.
The old Sultan was not an inhumane man, but he was an old man. He was deeply reactionary, so he wanted
to keep his country in a medieval time warp. The thing that changed it was the advent of the Japanese transistor radio. For the first time, his people could hear what other Arab countries were doing with their oil, and they wanted some of that.
By the 1920s, Winston Churchill had switched the British Royal Navy's mode of power from coal to oil, and suddenly everything changed. They needed oil and lots of it, which made Oman vital, not for its limited oil resources, but for where it is, the Strait of Hormuz, the Persian Gulf's femoral artery. 20% of the world's oil flows through here, making it one of, if not the, most strategically important waterways on the planet. By 1970, Sultan Timur's counterinsurgency was not going well. He was deposed by his son Qaboos bin Said al-Said in a relatively bloodless coup. Immediately, the young Sultan set out on a different tack for winning the war.
Almost before the shooting had stopped, we would institute a civil aid program, build roads, build a school, build a mosque, build some shops, a clinic. But it was in this way the Sultan was able to demonstrate that he was the one who had his people's best interests at heart, not the communists.
Things seldom work out so well post-insurgency or counterinsurgency. This tactic failed spectacularly in Vietnam, of course. What made the difference here?
In every war in history, you end up living with the other side. And if you can open a respectable door successfully, then the less likely the aftermath is going to be beset with rancor, with hatred, and a thirst for revenge. The Sultan took this very brave, highly intelligent political risk, which I think was the difference, and I think has been the foundation of the unambiguous and enduring peace in this country.
In 1976, the Omanis laid down their weapons and never picked them up again. The resulting peace has lasted for 40 years. And while Oman ain't your system, and it ain't my system, and it's far, far from being either perfect or a Western-style democracy, there is a palpable pride here in the collective identity of being Omani. Notably as well, the Sultan has placed emphasis on the role of women, decreeing, at least as a matter of policy, equal access to education, to work, to political office.
الوحيدة في الحمرة كنت أطبخ. يعني كانوا الناس الحريم يعني يستحين وين يطبخن، يعني كما تقول يعني دنيء وناجحة وما شاء الله يعني، والناس كلها تشتري من عندي وتطلب. قامة واجد يعني الحريم يطبخن. يمكن تو 12 وحدة موجودات في الحمرة هنا يطبخن.
Zahara Al-Afi, daughters Asila and Aisha, and friend Samia Al-Harthi, 4 extraordinary women. What started as a way for Zahara to fund her charity work spawned a lucrative cottage industry of catering for events. Now, rather than using her family money, her business is able to fully finance her work to educate children in the nearby mountain villages.
Simpson?
I was asking myself that I see.
I was on The Simpsons. Yes.
Really?
Yes. This is the first time I've been recognized from The Simpsons.
That's really nice.
So some of the money that she's making is going to open schools in rural villages. Is that correct?
Not only a part of the money, it goes all of it for them to build for them the schools and to provide them the education. وأخصص لهم ناس يعلموهم القرآن، وناس يعلموهم الدين، وناس يعلموهم أمور يعني ذاك يعني العلم بصفة عامة.
Why is this important to you?
يشوفوني ويتعلموا مني العمل التطوعي والتضحية من أجل الآخرين.
Tabbouleh laham is slow-cooked goat and a rich rice pilaf scented with star anise. Musanef dajaj, a local specialty, are pan-seared dumplings stuffed with chicken, pepper, ginger, turmeric, and onions. And of course, there's Omani bread with honey.
That's a chili. Are you okay with that?
Yes, I like spicy.
Oh, okay.
Good. Very good.
طيوه أصيلة قد في لما أتقطر مخرطة.
Everyone here says that the economy is going to have to shift away from oil towards other industries.
Yeah.
How would you like to prepare your daughters for the future?
نحن يعني في هذا العصر في هذه الأيام نعيش أيام ذهبية بوجود السلطان قابوس الله يشفيه.
بيشفيه يا رب دايما عمرا طويلا ومديدا يا رب.
الحمد لله.
الحمد لله. الحمد لله.
نعيش أيام ذهبية.
صح. أوكي.
لكن لازم نكون مستعدين للمستقبل يعني.
What do the young ladies, when they reach adulthood, what are your hopes and dreams?
إني أكون أخلي نفسي راضية عن نفسي، أكون راضية عن نفسي، أحقق كل أحلامي. أكون يعني أنا أبغى أكون صاحبة أعمال.
And the young lady?
سمولة وين وأنتي؟
أنا كنت يعني أريد أكون أستاذة بس أمي تريدني أكون رئيسة الجامعة.
ما شاء الله تبارك الرحمن. وين؟
Strong women in this family.
Yeah, I say that. They're very strong ones.
As one moves away from the coast and into the interior, everything changes. This is the country's more conservative core, its spiritual center. Uniquely, Oman's majority is neither Sunni nor Shia, but rather Ibadi, a very old and particularly tolerant non-sectarian form of Islam. This is a distinction we in the West would be wise to notice. Islam is not a monolith. It comes in many forms. Ibadi theology arguably forms the backbone of many of Oman's codes of conduct. It places value on concepts like politeness, acceptance, unity, and understanding. Perhaps as a consequence of that, the Sultanate embraces grace and tact as a matter of foreign policy. Internally, too, Oman has avoided radicalism and sectarian violence. It is considered shameful by Ibadi teachings to draw blood over religious conflicts unless attacked. The terror and bloodshed in neighboring Yemen feels very far away up here. Jebel El Akhdar, the Green Mountain. This area, oh my God, look at this, it's so beautiful.
There are 64 villages at Jebel Akhdar.
64.
64. This village is called Al Ain.
How many generations has your family lived here?
200 years, maybe
200
more.
years?
Yeah, more than 200 years. Can you see all these small farms?
Yeah.
All our grandfathers built that. And they build all these things with only their hands. They don't have any machines. Can you imagine that?
Hamdan al-Sakari, his father Ali, and his uncle Hilal come from a very long line of hardworking farmers. They all grew up here, generation after generation, a tribal area of ancient villages and terraced farmland which have produced pomegranate, nuts, and dates, the premier cash crops of Oman for many centuries. But like so many places I go, so many traditional agricultural communities, the young men and increasingly the young women are looking elsewhere, beyond the farm, to seek higher education and opportunity in the city.
This is a common story. I mean, the young men, they go to university, you know.
I have to study there because, you know, the future, and I want to get a good job.
Many young Omanis, they study abroad. They study in America or England, but most of them seem to come back.
You are only going outside to study and get something. That thing you want to return back to your country. I grown up in this village. It's something simple, and I really miss it.
Muscat, you don't like it?
Sometimes.
It's not a life for you? Sometimes?
Sometimes you go there and for big shop malls.
They go to the malls.
At the same time.
So what do we have here?
We have food, traditional food.
Delicious.
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 Yeah.
Oh, man, that looks good. What's in the biryani?
This is rice and with potato. Yeah. We often eat this meat in celebrations. We call it in Omani mkhallai.
Lamb?
Yeah.
Oh, that's fantastic.
You like?
Wow. Never had this.
Really? This is the haris.
Very famous dish.
Yeah.
How do you say delicious in Arabic?
Ladid.
Ladid?
Ladid, yeah.
Ooh.
Ladid.
That's what it is. How did you learn to cook this well?
In Muscat, I live with my friends. I'm not from family. So I have to learn how to cook because no one is taking care about you. You should take care about yourself.
So if you'd rather be here, why not just continue as your parents and grandparents?
I want to really improve my country economy. I want to invent something.
You're planning for a post-oil Oman, like after the oil. I think the whole country feels this way. I mean, the government feels this way as well. As you say, the country is changing. Look, you have a luxury resort right over there.
Yeah.
The future will look much like this. Resort opens up. They have a big golf course. They have jobs for people to carry golf bags for tourists.
Yeah.
For more money than he can make farming. Is this good or is this bad?
You have to deal with your traditional way and your life. So you want to keep all things safe.
It's more the government responsibility to make balance between advantages and disadvantages of tourism.
But it's a very delicate balance here. These are old and complicated systems that have been working for a very long time.
It's really difficult because there's many sides here. The life is keep changing. You cannot keep everything as it is before.
Do you know this cat or just a,
No.
just a village cat?
It's the garden for this.
It's the garden?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oman's history and future both are linked inexorably to the sea. The Sultanate began with trade, and it is likely that a new multi-billion-dollar port at Duqm on the coast, intended as a center for international shipping, will play a significant role in the coming years. Abdullah Al-Gilani and Mohammed Shaban spend every free moment at sea, free diving and spearfishing without oxygen for grouper, kingfish, cuttlefish, and tuna. Saeed Al-Namani is the captain and owner of this boat. Saleh Saeed Al-Jabri is a former Navy officer who famously sailed a handmade 9th century style dhow 3,000 miles to Singapore.
The first Omani boats that went out into the sea, around how far back, how many years?
I would say more than 3,000 years.
So BC.
BC, yeah.
Now, in the beginning, it was fishermen.
Yeah.
But then start to trade all up and down East Africa, Iran, Pakistan, up to China Straits, to China.
Yeah. And the evidence about it, even in their China language, there is some Arabic.
Interesting.
It's very interesting.
What did the Chinese have to trade that the Omanis wanted?
They exchanged it with the silk, fabric, and all that kind of things. And of course, coming back was spices. Not only Arabs went there, Indians came as well. So if you look at the eastern coast, they lack the spices and all this kind of food.
Well, the people also, I mean, you know, it's a real mix of Arab, Southern Indian, African. I mean, maybe that's why the food's so delicious.
Food is so delicious because we like the taste.
Lunch is fresh sardines grilled over charcoal. Some incredible prawns. And mishakik, an Omani cookout staple. Cubed beef on skewers rubbed with cumin, garlic, and cardamom, then grilled. And local slipper lobsters, of course. And do not forget the cuttlefish masala.
Delicious. Wow, the cuttlefish is incredible.
We cannot live without the sea. Our relationship with the sea is too strong.
So you on the water every day?
Myself, I like being in the water. Even 24 hours, I don't mind. This is what's great about Oman itself. People cannot go away from the sea itself, from the sand itself.
What we like is black natural. We want to make it as natural as it looks and it appears and how it was before.
We're born in this beautiful country and we try to look after it. It has to stay because inside the heart here, it's like the flower. If we keep it and look after it, give them the right water, it will grow.
Miles south of Muscat, the pavement ends and you hit this. Sharqiya Sands, on the edge of Ruba al-Hali, the largest sand desert in the world. Once you get up in a soft sand, things change. Everything changes. You change. This is the traditional domain of the Bedouin, who for thousands of years have moved across this harsh, dry, seemingly endless landscape, making it their home. Amr al-Wahibi and his family continue the tradition. Mohamed Al-Marouhi is a hardcore ambassador for the empty places of the desert. He's spent more time there, much of it alone, than just about anyone.
The Bedouin have been crossing the empty quarter hundreds of years, thousands of years?
Thousands of years, thousands of years. The Bedouin are the kings of the desert. It's their place, it's their area, and they know how to live and they know how to suffer.
Mark Evans, a polar and desert expedition leader, knows firsthand how difficult the empty quarter can be. Guided by Amr and accompanied by colleague Mohammed Al-Zajali, he recently made the crossing, walking over 600 miles with camels in tow.
The first 12 days of our journey, crossing the empty quarter, we didn't touch our own food at all. And it became a competition to be more generous than the previous.
So you'd meet people out there all along the way?
You would. Even though nobody lived there, people would find you and travel.
حنا يومين الضيف يومين نكرم بهذه الاشياء.
Usually the guy who come, he have to open the head.
Okay. Oh, I know just what I'm going for. I got it.
Pull it. Yeah, that is on.
Cheek.
Yeah. Remove the eyes. Here.
Woo.
It's too hot. This is the point.
Good.
It's good if you have got whiskey or brandy or
You know, the empty quarter is emptier than it's ever been. It's almost impossible to do what the old explorers did because they relied upon local people being in situ. The Bedouin have migrated to the edge of the deserts where life is easier, really. But they don't want to let go completely. Amr sends his children to school in Butte, yet he wants them to live in the sand where they have the freedom and that connection to their roots.
Is someone cross the empty quarter alone? Absolutely alone? No, you need people with you.
You need people.
In my earlier years, I was taking lots of young people on expeditions up to the Arctic, which is very different to here, but the Inuit and the Bedouin have a lot of similarities. They both live on the edge of human tolerance. They're much more open and friendly people. It's like coming home when you come out here. It's very incredibly powerful and enables you to put everything in perspective. Fridtjof Nansen, the Norwegian explorer, said that salvation will not come from the rushing centers of civilization. Deliverance will come from the lonely places. In other words, we all need places to think and calm down and
اختار اقعد في حرف العرقوب وانا مرتاح قلبي مطمن وروحي مطمن